Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Rob Van Bergen from Pain Free for Life, and welcome to our Monday 10-minute training. Today, I would like to cover post-COVID symptoms, or what people have referred to as long haulers syndrome, and what easy microcurrent treatments can be performed with microcurrent therapy to produce real and effective results. Now, although many people fear getting COVID in the first place, and that's kind of where a lot of people have been in these last few years, post COVID seems to be the most extremely debilitating condition that really it just drags things on. And it will impact people for weeks, months, and potentially even beyond. I don't think we have enough experience with it to know how long lasting it can be. Now, common symptoms of post-COVID are fatigue, shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, cough, joint pain, chest pain, memory and concentration issues or maybe sleep problems, muscle pain or headache, fast or pounding heartbeat, a loss of smell or taste. And these are really common ones, the loss of smell or taste that seem to hit people during COVID and then last beyond that. New depression or anxiety can also be worsening depression or anxiety, persistent fevers, dizziness when you stand, and worsened symptoms after physical or mental activities. So these things that I just listed can be amplified after we do, say, a bunch of reading, we're trying to study something, or after we've been for a walk or a run. They can really amplify the symptoms. Now, many of these symptoms are extremely problematic. They present challenges in returning to normal everyday living. And I think they impact so many people, that more people than we think they would. So many of these microcurrent treatments can help to work on reducing these symptoms. And I have already covered most of them on previous 10-minute training videos, which can all be viewed on our YouTube channel. So if any of these treatments I'm going to list just now don't seem familiar to you, you can view them on the YouTube channel because I have covered them before. Okay, so these are the important basic treatments for symptom relief. Okay, so first is immune enhancement. Now, immune enhancement is going to be key. And the immune protocol, I think I did a two-part 10-minute training on it because it was too long to cover in one. But the primary one I'm talking about here is working on the long bones, the epiphysis of the long bones. And by working on these, you can stimulate white blood cell activation in the body, and that can help to enhance your immunity. And when your immunity is enhanced, you're going to be able to beat back these symptoms. Now, of course, vagus nerve stimulation is going to make it to this list. And this is a super common treatment. We ask people to do this all the time. What it's doing is it's calming your nervous system down. You should be continuing to do vagus nerve stimulation up to 4 times per day, because what this is doing is it's helping to calm that nervous system and reduce inflammation in the body. Now, the last one of these kind of basic protocols for relief that is only going to apply if you have a hard time breathing or you're still got a cough, you got any of the respiratory problems associated with post-COVID. This protocol here is the respiratory protocol for one. Now, this is when we talk about little clouds and things like that, where we're treating the back and we're doing little clouds like this, little cloud shapes. This is the respiratory protocol. But you want to make sure that you are using 77 hertz here, because this will help to mitigate scarring on the lungs. So this is what we're trying to achieve with this protocol. Now, additionally, the use of nitric oxide as a supplement can really help to enhance circulation and blood flow and oxygenation, and it is going to go really far to helping deal with all of those problems, getting on a good daily supplement of that. However, this is just treating the symptoms. We're not talking about treating the root underlying problem, right? If we want to get rid of the underlying root cause, there are 2 key protocols that we are looking at. So this is tongue stimulation and scalar chi therapy. Now, tongue stimulation involves the use of the tongue stimulator tool, which I do have here, And this little tool right here can go in your mouth, and it goes on the tongue, and it's used to stimulate the cranial nerves. And this will help rewire any crossed wires in the brain. Usually, using this is going to help with many of the memory and sleep issues. So the loss of sense of smell and taste, dizziness, more, right? Memory problems. For this, we use 121 hertz in our home use devices, the Genesis and the Evolution. And if we have the opportunity, we want to program our Pinnacle or Pro Sport device to be 200 hertz with 3-to-1 modulation. This is the exact frequency that was described when it was originally discovered, that has been shown to help rewire the brain for these things. However, many people have benefited from 121 hertz to the point where I actually don't know if there's a big difference on paper between those two frequencies. It's more about the modulation and the stimulation of the brain. So with any of the devices we have, you can use that tongue stimulator to kind of rewire that issue. Now, when it comes to the scalar chi, it's all about repairing damaged tissue and organs and enabling them to restore themselves to normal function through the use of 0-point fields. So how does that work? Well, inside the scalar device here, what you have is you've got 2 Tesla coils. Now, these coils, instead of pointing outward, which would enable them to create a pulsed electromagnetic field that would benefit from different frequencies, they're pointing towards each other. So when these 2 equal frequencies connect, they cancel each other out, and they create what is fundamentally close to 0 hertz. So if you're using 7 to 12 hertz, both of those coils are using 7 to 12 hertz and identically hitting each other and creating 0. And really, if you use any frequencies, is why we started to see people using the Genesis with the scalar chi, you get the same effect because the programs being identical are canceling each other out. The only reason we use 7 to 12 hertz as our primary is because 7 to 12 hertz is a better, more natural frequency, and scalar waves are a natural frequency as well. So when you expose your cells to this 0-point field, what ends up happening is everything kind of like resets and calms down. So fundamentally, you are giving your cells a reset. Now, scalar energy, because of those reasons, is so fundamentally useful across the board, because it doesn't really matter which frequency or where you are treating. The body's cells find themselves realigning and restoring normal function. So this has made it one of the simplest treatments available, because you take this, you simply set the device to 7 to 12 hertz, or blue stim if you have a Genesis, increase the power to maximum or until you can feel it. If you can start to feel kind of like a buzzing feeling on your skin, stop your power increase. You've got it to the right point. You're just particularly sensitive and you can feel it. But otherwise, we set the power to maximum and we want to point it where we want to treat. So using this on problem areas post-COVID, such as the lungs, the epiphysis of the long bones, right? So the same as the immune protocol, and just holding it for a few minutes or gently painting over the area. You know, you can do this on the front of your body. I like this to touch my body. I don't want to hold it away too far. Theoretically, scalar waves are so big and wide that you could hold it like on the other side of the room and hit someone with them eventually. But we're trying to be therapeutic here. Let's stick it close to the body and treat. So use this on the problem areas, the lungs, the epiphysis of the long bones for the immune enhancement, and the brain. And these are the key areas that are almost dysfunctional as a result of COVID exposure. And by treating these areas, by using these tools, you're helping to reset the cells. And so super simple, easy way to do that, because you can just point it wherever you want. So that is it for today. If you have any questions, you go ahead and add them in the comments below. I'll be sure to answer them. And again, thank you so much for joining me. And as usual, if you found the video helpful, please like the video and comment. The main reason I ask you to do that is it bumps it up the page. So more people that are coming to the page are going to see it, and then it's going to help more people, and so on and so forth. Notice that there's been a lot more when people do that. A lot more people are actually seeing the video instead of it just getting buried in posts. So Again, thank you for joining me. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving there in the US, and I will see you next week for another Monday 10-minute training. Take care.